Picture this. You ask three of the world's smartest AI models a simple question. When's Adam Kalai's birthday? One says March 7th, another confidently declares June 15th, the third, January 1st. Plot twist, they're all wrong. And here's the kicker. These billion-dollar brains probably knew they were wrong, but they said it anyway. This is the weirdest bug in AI that's not actually a bug. It's a feature, one we accidentally programmed in. Today, we're diving into why AI models would rather lie to your face than just say, I don't know. And the reason is basically the same reason your friend Steve pretends he's seen that obscure indie film you're talking about. It's all about appearances. So, OpenAI just dropped this paper that's like catching your kid with their hand in the cookie jar. Except the kid is a massive neural network, and the cookie jar is the entire internet's worth of facts. Researchers discovered that when an AI doesn't know something, it doesn't just guess randomly. It guesses with absolute confidence. Like that friend who gives you detailed driving directions to a place they have never, ever been. And here's where it gets juicy. Ask an AI about Einstein's birthday. You know the guy, E=mc². Boom, March 14th, 1879.
It nails it every single time. Why? Because Einstein's birthday is plastered all over the internet. The AI has seen it millions of times during its training. But ask it about some random researcher who published one single paper back in 1987. The AI goes into full fake-it-till-you-make-it mode. And the research shows if a fact appears only once in all of that training data, just one time, the AI will make something up about it at least 20% of the time. That is a 1 in 5 chance it's just confidently lying to you. Think about that. It's like having a friend who invents 1 out of every 5 stories they tell, but delivers them all like they're giving a TED Talk. So how did we get here? Well, the researchers had their big aha moment, and it all comes back to school. Remember taking multiple choice tests? What's the golden rule? Never leave a question blank. Even if you have absolutely no clue, you take a shot. Because a blank answer gets you 0 points, which is the same as a wrong answer, so you become a professional guesser. You eliminate the obvious wrong answers, you look for patterns, you might even just pick C and hope for the best.
Well, congratulations. We've trained our AI models to be the world's greatest, most obsessive test takers. And I mean that literally. Here's the technical bit, but stick with me because it's kind of hilarious. During training, we force-feed these AIs the entire internet, Wikipedia, Reddit, all of it. The AI learns patterns. It learns that the sky is probably followed by blue, not made of cheese. But here's the fatal flaw. The training process rewards the AI for giving an answer, any answer. It does not reward it for giving the right answer, and it certainly doesn't have a box for, I don't know. The research paper proves with actual math that this creates a system where it's much easier for the AI to just spit something out that looks right than to actually generate something that is right. It's like the difference between being a food critic and being a chef. It is way, way easier to know a souffle tastes wrong than it is to actually make a perfect souffle from scratch. So, what does this all mean? We've built these incredible tools, these digital brains, but we've trained them with a fundamental human flaw, the pressure to always have an answer. We've taught them that saying, I don't know, is a failure. In our rush to create an all-knowing oracle, we've actually created the ultimate overconfident intern, one that will invent facts with a straight face just to avoid looking incompetent. And that's not the AI's fault. That's ours. The next time an AI gives you an answer that feels a little too perfect, a little too confident, just remember your friend Steve. And maybe, just maybe, go check Wikipedia yourself. All right, let me pull back the curtain on why your favorite AI is a world-class liar. Researchers just uncovered something they call the singleton rate. It's a fancy term, but it boils down to this: stuff that barely exists in the training data. Picture a history textbook. George Washington? He's on every other page, 1,000 times. But then there's some random soldier, let's call him Bob Smith, mentioned exactly once, in a footnote on page 847.
On test day, you'll ace Washington, but Bob Smith, your brain just serves up static. He was a guy in a place doing things. That's precisely what's happening inside these massive AI models. The research is shockingly clear. For these singleton facts, the AI's hallucination rate is a direct mirror of how rare they are. If 20% of the facts in its brain are these one-off footnotes, you can bet you're going to get a 20% hallucination rate. It's almost embarrassingly predictable. But that's just the start of the rabbit hole. It gets so much worse. After the initial training, they put these AIs through a kind of finishing school to make them less like pathological liars. But something bizarre happens here.
The very tests we use to grade them, the benchmarks that are supposed to be their report cards, actually reward them for confident guessing. Every major AI benchmark they looked at uses what's called binary scoring. It's just right or wrong, 1 or 0, pass or fail. There's no partial credit. There are 0 bonus points for admitting you don't know. Think about it. We've created a system that's like training a weather forecaster, where they get the same exact punishment for saying, "I'm not sure," as they do for confidently predicting a sunny day during a Category 5 hurricane. It's insane. So the researchers dug into the system itself. They analyzed the top AI benchmarks, MMLU, GPQA, all the fancy acronyms that make developers feel important. And guess what they found? Not a single one gives any credit for uncertainty. 0, zilch, nada. So we have built, from the ground up, a system where saying "I don't know" gets you 0 points. But making something up? Hey, you might get lucky and snag some points. Being confidently and catastrophically wrong still might get you some points. If you were an AI, what would you do? You'd learn the game.
You'd become the world's most confident, fastest-talking BS artist. The researchers call it an epidemic of penalizing uncertainty. That's the polite academic way of saying we have completely, totally messed this up. So how do we fix this disaster we've created? The paper suggests something so simple, it's almost insulting we didn't do it from the start. Change the tests. Instead of this binary right or wrong system, they say we should implement confidence targets. You basically tell the AI, look, only answer if you're 90% sure. If you get it wrong, you lose points. But if you say, I don't know, that's neutral, no harm, no foul. It's just like those old SAT tests where guessing could actually hurt your score. Suddenly, blindly filling in bubbles wasn't the smart move. Some countries already do this. India's brutal engineering exams, for example, penalize wrong answers. And the result? Students there get really, really good at knowing the limits of their own knowledge. So there you have it. AI models don't hallucinate because they have some deep technical flaw. They hallucinate because we have literally trained them, incentivized them, and rewarded them for being overconfident know-it-alls. We built the perfect machine to ace a broken test, and then we acted shocked when it behaved exactly like a machine built to ace a broken test. Until we change how we grade them, rewarding honesty over a confident guess, we're just training the world's most advanced technology to be that annoying friend who can never, ever admit they're wrong. The good news is the fix is simple. The bad news? It requires the entire AI industry to admit that maybe, just maybe, they don't know everything. And if an AI can't be taught to say, I don't know, what are the chances humans will?